Hey guys, it's Natalia, and today I have the long-awaited Sadie top and dress tutorial. If you've been here a while, I launched the original Sadie dress back in 2023, summer of 2023, and I then recently launched the Sadie tops on my website this past summer as actual products that you can buy, which you can still buy. They are still on my website as of January 2026 anyway, but ever since I launched it, I've been asked so many times to release a pattern for it, and I've always been really hesitant about putting out patterns for products that I also sell. But over the last couple of years, I feel like I've kind of lost that fear and I don't really mind it anymore, and I think that I can do both and it doesn't have to be competing in any sort of way. So I actually filmed this tutorial some point last year, I think literally last summer, and I just never got around to finishing like editing it. I never finished the pattern fully, but it's been sitting on my computer 3/4 of the way done for the longest time. So the tutorial that you're seeing today was filmed last summer, and since then I've started sewing one little piece of the Sadie top a little bit differently, but you can still do it the same way that I did it in this video. I'm going to show both ways, and in this video I'm sewing a dress, but you can also make it into a top, which what I do is always cut it at the waist seam. So if this is your top pattern piece, I cut right at the waist, which your pattern will actually have a line on it. This is an older pattern, but that's usually how I like to do it. If you want to do a maxi dress, just extend the bottom as long as you want. Otherwise it's set at a mini dress, which is not super mini, but obviously measure it to yourself and make sure it's the length that you want. I would say this pattern is easy to do and definitely easier if you have a serger, but you can totally do it without a serger. I would just use a stretch needle and a straight stitch. I don't know if I would do a zigzag for this. Maybe, I don't know. I never use a normal sewing machine to do stretch fabric, so figure out what works for the fabric that you're working with. But for this pattern specifically, I would do like a 4-way stretch fabric, something that has quite a bit of stretch, because at the end of the day it's kind of like a bodycon dress, so any fabric that you basically put over yourself without needing closure is best for this. You don't want it to be too lightweight though. I like to do light enough, but the Sadie tops actually have like a pretty medium weight stretch fabric, and it works really well because it really cinches you in. But it is a fully lined pattern, which makes it the tiniest bit more difficult. It's just kind of hard to explain how to do it all. So I did my best trying to show everything in this video, and I hope that you're able to kind of see it all. But if you have any questions or any doubts at all, obviously you can comment down below or try to reach me via socials. I always try my best to answer to everybody. I cannot guarantee I'll get to everybody, but I will do my best. The pattern is available on my website and on my Etsy, and both of them are linked down below. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to show you in this tutorial how to do the yellow Sadie dress that I made last summer, and then I'm going to show you one little bit that I changed with a black Sadie top in the middle there. But yeah, if you end up making this pattern, please send me pictures, videos, whatever. I would love to see it. Tag me on socials. I'd love to see it. Without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to start by cutting out all of our pieces. So you're going to have 2 fronts, 2 backs, 1 cowl, and 1 little strap that goes in between the cowl. These are all the pieces you'll have. Like I said, 2 of each front and back, 1 little strap, and then the cowl, though this cowl is a little bit longer than the actual pattern. I accidentally cut an old version instead of the newer version, but I fixed it later. I just didn't film it. The little strap is honestly kind of annoying to add in, and you can add it in at different points. I just find it gets confusing to do it before this sometimes, but you're gonna go ahead and serge it and then flip it inside out so that you have a nice clean strap. We're gonna start by finding the middle of the cowl and attaching that wrong side of the cowl to the right side of the front and pinning that all in place. And then taking the other front piece right sides together with the cowl and also pinning that in place. This basically is gonna sandwich the cowl between the outer shell and the lining. And we're gonna go ahead and serge that. This way of sewing the front is much more efficient, but it can get kind of confusing, which is why I'm adding it as an extra way of doing it. But basically you sandwich your cowl between the front pieces like you would in the other version, and then with your strap already sewn up, you attach it directly here. So you place the strap between the cowl and the lining on either side, but it's not going to lay perfectly flat. You'll notice it's a bit of a wonky setup for sewing, but if you want to be sure you've pinned it correctly, flip it right side out once you've pinned it to make sure the strap is where it's supposed to be. I like to tack down the straps on either side before serging all the way around to make sure nothing moves around when I'm serging. But again, this is kind of a more advanced method of doing it just because it's a bit weird to pin and to sew it because it doesn't lay perfectly flat. But if you're up for it, I do think this is a way more efficient way to go about it. But at the end of the day, either version works. And then we're gonna put the back pieces together and serge it together at the neckline, so just from one shoulder to the other. If you don't have a serger, just make sure to use a stretch needle for this and use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. For the front piece, I'm gonna go ahead and clip the cowl to the front bit so it kind of stays in place at the shoulder. And then we're gonna serge together the shoulder seams. So I'm gonna match the seams at the shoulder and pin those in place on both sides. And again, making sure the cowl piece goes towards the outer shell and not the lining bit of the fabric. And then we're gonna serge both of those in place. Now you should see it start to take form. We're gonna go ahead and do the side seams for the outer shell and the lining. So I just kind of fold it over this way and kind of pin everything from the armpit area downward, and then do the same for the lining. The only difference is that on the lining, you are gonna want to leave a little bit of open space so that then we can finish off the lining perfectly so that everything is enclosed nicely. So go ahead and sew that, but again, remember to leave a little bit of room on the side of the lining so that we can then pull it through. And then you're gonna use your pattern to mark the notch where the strap goes and use a pin to mark that. And then I go into the inside and open up the seam allowance right where the strap needs to be, just about like 1/2 inch or so that the strap pulls through. And then do the same thing on the other side and again, pull the strap through and pin those both in place. And then go ahead and serge over that so that the strap stays in place. Again, you could do this at the very beginning, but I find it really difficult to sandwich this in place while I'm sandwiching in the lining to the outer shell to the cowl. Like it just gets a little bit messy to kind of hold everything in place. So sometimes it's just easier to do it afterwards. But if you prefer to do it before, you can as well. I just find that this is easiest. And also if you wanted to try it on and maybe change the placement of the strap, you could also do that. This is what the dress should look like so far. Now we just have to finish off the armholes and the hem and we'll be done. So I like to just take the shoulder seams and kind of sandwich them together, right sides together, hold them in place, and then pull it through the bottom. If you've ever done lining, you know that doing the lining of armholes just gets kind of tricky because you can't just perfectly pin it all the way around. You're gonna have to kind of work around it and kind of pull and tug your fabric to be able to do the full kind of loop around. So I like to at least mark my 2 main points, which are the shoulder seams that match and then the side seams that match, and then everything else kind of falls into place after that. So pin as much as you can and then take it to your serger. And again, this is going to be just a little bit tricky because you do have to just kind of pull and tug as you go, but just go slowly, take it section by section and pull through as you need to finish off the full armhole. This is what the armhole should look like. You want to also make sure you don't catch the cowl into the armhole. That's only going to be attached at the shoulder seams, not at the armhole. So just be sure of that because sometimes it does kind of seep over. Now we're going to turn our dress inside out so we can finish off the hem. Again, I go through the little hole that we left at the side and pinch together the 2 side seams and then pull it through so that I can pin together the rest of the hem. And again, it's just easiest to pin the 2 side seams first, make sure those match, and then pin everything else accordingly. And then take it to your serger and serge all the way around. If you want the dress to be any shorter, this would be a good time to try it on and figure that out, obviously before you actually serge it. This is what your hem should look like. And now the only thing left is finishing off that inner lining. I just kind of follow the fold that's created from the serging that we have on either end, which is about a 1/4 inch or so, and pin all of that in place. And then I take it to my sewing machine and just do a little stitch as close to the edge as possible to lock it into place. You could also sew this by hand if you wanted it to be like perfectly clean and seamless, but it's on the inside, so it doesn't really matter too much if you have this little teeny tiny seam there. And as for any sewing project, the last step is to iron everything down. So I just like to press all of the seams down, make sure everything is sandwiched in nicely, and then your dress is ready to go. So that is it for today's tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is one of my favorite designs that I've put out. I've worn my Sadie dress so many times. Every time I wear it, I get so complimented on it. Same with my Sadie top. It's such a good little going out top, and I cannot wait to see you guys make it for yourself. Obviously, there's a million adjustments you can do with this pattern. If you don't want it to be as low as mine is, you can also raise it up. You can adjust in many different ways, but I love it as is, and I can't wait to see you guys make it. Let me know what other tutorials and patterns you want down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!